Welcome to Under the Sun with me, Nicola Barreto. Under the Sun with Nicola is a regional magazine program with an edge on all things Caribbean. Anything and possibly everything under the sun. We focus on arts, culture, cuisine, generation now, celebrity interviews, and most important, giveaways. The main focus of Under the Sun with Nicola is to promote regional unity while enhancing the region's social fabric. So be a part of the team. Join us, Under the Sun with Nicola. Welcome to Under the Sun. I'm Nicola. Who is Neal Farinah? Neal Farinah is humble in his attitude, humble in his manner, but he excels at his craft. Neal Farinah, born and bred in Arima, a native of Trinidad and Tobago, and I think Trinidad and Tobago's best kept secret, well, at least one of them. Neal Farinah is a celebrity stylist.
What I love about this store that this year Beyonce changed so many textures, to straight hair, to curly hair. I love it because I get opportunities to show more diversity and embrace her culture, which is African American. I love that she incorporated and empowered so much women, and not only African American women. This year, every woman of all color, all hair texture have embraced such an amazing style.
I think you're the biggest kept secret in Trinidad and Tobago. First, to begin with, not many people know that you're from this side of the ocean, if you want to call it that. And you've been flying the Trinidad and Tobago flag for so long and so high. And just to top it off, you're from Arima.
No other place to be, Arima. My favorite place.
Neal, it's nice to have you back home, and it's nice for you to represent as well. Just tell us a little bit about, your upbringing and coming from Trinidad and Tobago, and now just spreading your wings, flying celebrity, ultra celebrities I call them, and your work as a hairstylist or cosmetologist, but you're doing what you love and you're doing it well.
Well, I gotta tell you this, Nicole. Growing up, most Trinidadian parents back in those days, it's all about they want a kid to be a doctor, a lawyer, always something in that perspective. But, after my dad died, I went to get my hair done in Arima, actually. And it didn't dawn to me that I wanted to be a hairstylist at that time. And then after I went home, it hit me, wow, this is who I am. I am a hairstylist. So I went to beauty school in Arima like over 20 years ago. And again, of course, in Trinidad, it's a stigma, and actually, it wasn't the real typical manly job, So I had my fears of being a hairstylist back then. But then I was like, you know what, Neal? I'm gonna do this. And I went through, I didn't let the stigma, I didn't let nothing hold me back, because I felt inside of me there was something greater. And the greatness that I felt was going to beauty school, completing what I wanted to do. And I realized that was my passion. And then, of course, like we all hope for opportunities, but even living in Trinidad, I realized, I was here and I wasn't growing. And in my heart, I felt there was something greater for me.
So you took that leap of faith.
I did take the leap of faith.
Let's take you back down the road.
Yes.
Primary school, secondary school. What primary school did you go to?
I went, oh my God, Arima Hindu School. Actually, I studied at Arima Boys RC School, but but it wasn't the best school for me at the time, my parents thought. So I went to Arima Hindu School, and still, my parents was, again, coming from back in those days in the 80s, education was very important.
To all of us.
To all of us, But, I learned now that I'm older now that education is not for all of us. And, they're amazing hairstylists, they're amazing makeup artists, they're amazing designers. And one thing I realized about Trinidad and Tobago, we have some of the greatest artists in Trinidad.
We do.
We have so many greatness in Trinidad.
There's no doubt about it. I like the fact that you said, I guess maybe mainstream education is not for everyone.
Right.
But it takes so many of us to make up this world.
Yes.
And you may not be the attorney, you may not be the physician, you may not be, focused on academia, but you are so skilled with your hands.
Right.
And your attitude towards making us fabulous and beautiful. When you were at school, primary school, moving into secondary school, did you ever think, dream that you would be, slaying with me?
No, I hadn't. What is so funny, life, I just say life is a dream, and I think this is my dream, and I'm living my dream the fullest. And I want young people to understand, today that, like I said, we all not gonna be a calypsonian or soca artist. We're not all gonna be, the greatest entertainer. I mean, my career took me around the world several times, and I am so, blessed to say that, hey, today I have worked with some of the biggest artists in the world, and I'm Trinidadian, I'm from Arima, and if I can do it, hey, you can do it too.
So we're talking about dreams, Neal, and when we look back, we were taking it to the point where, you're in primary school, you moved on to secondary school, you went to a stylist to have your hair done. I'm thinking you probably had a lot of hair on your head and you probably got this fantastic cut or otherwise,
yes,
or maybe some color. But we're talking about dreams. In your wildest dreams back then, you would have never thought that you would have been in the position that you are now. The killing of dreams, to just make it blatant and frank, did you encounter that? Did you get the support from maybe not necessarily your family, but your peers? Did they say to you, oh, you want to be a stylist? There's nothing in that. And men don't style women. Say, what kind of strippiness is that?
Right.
You get that kind of feedback all the time.
Yes. Again, back in the 80s, I think Trinidad probably grown a little more now to accepting certain, career. And, as a young man who trying to become a hairstylist or a cosmetologist,
yes.
It's not the best job for them, and it's not the most manly job, and a lot of parents don't really support the kids. And I realized that in Trinidad, I noticed that we push our kids to do something that we not so much as a child wants to do, and I think that's where we're lacking. We need to support our kids and see what our children want and believe in them and support them and not degrade them or bring them down. I think we need a sort of like a foundation. And although I was raised in Trinidad, I love the way I was raised. I raised with respect, and I learned to respect my elders, and I learned to respect people for who they are and not judged. And I think I want to say we kind of growing in that direction in Trinidad, but I want to see more respect when it comes to the younger youths today,
You've heard the phrase, I'm pretty sure, dream big.
Dream big, yes.
Dream as big as you possibly can. And a lot of parents, and possibly Caribbean parents, we tend to say, okay, well, you need to become a doctor, a lawyer, pilot, or, the usual.
Yes.
But the encouragement, you are so right, it's not there. And this gives me, it gives more credence to the creation or putting more emphasis into our creative industries.
Yes.
Like, for instance, persons who dance.
Yes.
You'd find persons saying, well, there's no money in that.
Right.
What you doing that for?
Right.
That's all part of the art form.
Right.
And if we can develop, that in the Caribbean further, then we should be all right.
Yes.
And I think your era and what you're doing now in terms of cosmetology and hairstyling, people are like stepping back and saying, whoa.
Right. And you see, that's what I want young men and young women, to understand, live your dream. And like you just said, live big, live that dream as big as you can, and, keep on, fighting for your success. And I think that's what I did when I had the opportunity of leaving Trinidad. I left my family and I went by and, went to New York, and I had no direction. I was kind of lost. And I said, Neal, you come here for a purpose, and what is your purpose? And I know my purpose was greater. And I fought through the hard days, like, people didn't understand, people didn't even know that. Even my family didn't even know. There were days when I went hungry and didn't have to eat, and I didn't have the right shoes and the right attire because I didn't have money. I left with a couple of dollars in my pocket, and God was great. And I fought through that, because I remember one day when I called my mom and I said I couldn't do this because I didn't know where or how would I survive, And she's like, what are you gonna come back to Trinidad and do? And I was like, that was the moment I was like, wow, what am I coming back to Trinidad and do?
That was the aha moment.
That was the moment.
Under the Sun is powered by NLCB in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us right here under the sun. We're here at Fort James in Antigua. Russell's restaurant is behind us. We're hoping that that restaurant will be revived sometime soon. But let's focus on Neal Farinah. Fantastic conversation talking about his childhood, his upbringing, and moving to New York City. Well, we shifted from his sister's house, or his family house, in Lower Arima, and we headed to the Dial, downtown Arima. Talk about trouble. It got hotter. It was exciting. But let me let you check it out yourself. You talk about the struggle,
Yes.
and we know that the struggle is real.
Yes.
But we're here in the heart of Arima. The Dial is in the background. And you told me about, coming to the Dial when you were younger and feeling inspired. What's so special about the Dial, though?
Well,
What's so special about Arima?
See, this is where I was raised. I mean, I walk this way every day to school, and when I got my first job, this is where I work. And there's something about the Dial Center that inspired me. When I walk to the Dial and I stand here and I watch that clock behind me, that's inspiration for me. And it makes me feel like I'm home. I'm home in my hometown, Arima. And I'm so proud to say that I'm a Trinidadian. I'm from Arima.
The Arima boy
Yes.
in New York City.
Yes.
The Arima boy in DC.
Yes.
The Arima boy backstage with former President Barack Obama.
Yes.
The Arima boy all up in Beyonce's hair, all up in Mary J. Blige's hair, all up in Nicki Minaj's hair, and so many others.
Yes.
How does that feel, and how do these celebrities relate to you? Because I'm pretty sure, Neal, that you don't change your accent. You are who you are.
Yes.
You talk to them the same way like you treat everybody else. How does that work for you?
Working with some of the biggest superstars like, Florence and the Machine, Kelly Rowland, Mary J. Blige, 12 years with Beyonce, and now my own Nicki Minaj. I mean, it couldn't get better than that. It's like the icing on the cake, and every day is like an inspiration because, me, like I said, I'm Trinidadian, and to know that, hey, look where I am at right now, it's such a blessing. And of course, being on the same stage with the first black president, President Obama and Michelle, it was like, how to say, at that moment, I felt like I'm special. I made my country proud. Even though my country didn't know who I was at that moment, standing at the same podium with all these big stars, the first black president, there was no words at that moment. I just stood there and I realized, wow, look where my career bring me as a hairstylist. And I felt so proud to be a hairstylist. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey.
It is indeed a very proud moment. What do you think separates the goat from the sheep? And when I say the goat from the sheep, I mean you above the rest. What's in this heart? Is this your left side or your right side?
Left.
Okay, good. What's here that makes you different and makes these celebrities or any of your patrons, because you've got your salon in Brooklyn.
Yes.
What makes people warm up to you? Because I'm warming up to you already.
Right. I think, one thing that I realized with Trinidadians, and I met so many Trinidadians in America, and I think we have something special. We have a personality that we draw people, and I think we have an infection of love, and I think when you meet a Trinidadian, just actually when they open their mouth, you feel like a welcome. It's something different from a lot of other countries that a lot of countries don't have that Trinidadian have. We have a warmth. We have some of the most beautiful women in Trinidad and Tobago. Some of the most handsome guys in Trinidad, like me, you know what I'm saying? So, I think, we have a charisma. Trinidadians have a charisma about themselves that is so different from others. We do.
Neal, what are you bringing to the table? And I ask that, let me just be as frank as I can be. A lot of us talk about giving back, and we want to give back to society. We want to give back to the land of our birth, where we came from. We see a lot happening that's negative.
Yes.
But what do you want to do? How are you going to use your status now to motivate and influence the younger persons? Because we have a serious crime issue.
Yes, we do.
But what do you want to do?
You know what? The one thing that I realized with my country, which, like I said, it's sad to see where we are at this point in time with crime. And I would love to use if you want to call it celebrity status, I would love to come back and mentor young kids. I met many Trinidadians like myself who confronted me about doing something for my country, but we never go further than that conversation.
Yeah.
And I want to use our local companies. I think we have amazing makeup companies in Trinidad that people don't know about. I would love to come and use those companies, use my celebrity status, and use this company to help motivate younger generation that you can be wherever in Trinidad and Tobago, but you can still be the number one in the world, you know. And I don't see myself as a number one. What I see myself is a product of Trinidad and Tobago, representing my country, whether it's with Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, or whoever. At the end of the day, when I'm finished with these people, I go back to my salon and work with normal
regular people like myself.
Right, and it's still inspirational because, you know, one of the things that I love about my job is bringing a smile to women. And because my mom was a woman, and I have sisters and I have nieces and stuff like that, and, you know, I want women to embrace whatever makes them happy with beauty, you know, and you know, we live in a time when women get pregnant and they get married, women tend to like not love themselves. And I want women to continue loving themselves as the day they remember themselves as a baby to adulthood. I want them to represent beauty no matter what circumstance it is.
Neal, I wanna throw this out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Under the Sun with Nicola, our focus is to promote regional unity and enhance the region's social fabric. So not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but all across the region. And then of course by extension we go globally. But I would like to come back at some point in time to this show. I would like us to not talk, but I'd like us to walk. And if there is something that we can do together to make things different and to enhance the social fabric at this time, starting in Trinidad and Tobago, I'd like to see you back here on this show.
Yes, I definitely would love to come back to Trinidad. I mean, I want young kids today to understand, don't let no one stifle your dream. Dream as big as you can. And crime is not the way out. Let's talk, let's figure out how we can work out our situation. Let's work out our situation to make it positive, not with crime and not with fighting. Because when I was raised in Trinidad, I didn't know anything about crime or fighting. What I know was loving our neighbors and supporting each other. That's what I knew when I was in Trinidad. And I don't want to ever lose that as a Trinidadian, and I don't want our young kids of Trinidad and Tobago to feel that the alternative way out is fighting and crime. I think we're a great country. I think we have the most beautiful and richest Caribbean country in the world. And I would love to go through the Caribbean, not only just Trinidad and Tobago. I would love to go to Guyana, Jamaica, many of the Caribbean countries, and show them as a Caribbean or Trinidadian, it doesn't matter where you are in this world, you can do something positive to yourself, and don't let anyone hold you back of achieving the greatness that you know you were blessed to do.
And you are a perfect example of being destined for greatness.
Thank you.
Neal, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we're going to have doubles.
Yes.
Yeah?
Doubles. Trinidad, if you don't know what is double, you better Google double. Because doubles is...
What's a single though? What's a single? There's single, there's double.
Oh God, well I don't know all about that, but I know some good doubles in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you don't know about doubles, Google it.
You are silly. This is Under the Sun.
Under
with
the sun.
Nicola.
Under the
in
sun.
Arima,
Beautiful Trinidad.
Under the dial.
Trinidad. No greater than this.
Under the Sun is powered by NLCB in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're here at Russell's at Fort James in Antigua, Barbuda. Danielle made me this drink. This is a rum punch, Cavalier rum, and I'm sure there are other things in it that I probably wouldn't be able to smell, but I'd be able to drink. So Under the Sun with Nicola. Now, Neal Farinah, we've spoken about his life, his upbringing. We were at the Dial in Arima talking about, you know, his lifestyle, what he wants to do and what he hopes to accomplish moving forward. Now we had doubles and also coconut water. I just don't want you to think that I've never had a double, so I don't know how to eat doubles. That's furthest from the truth. The only thing is I don't know how to eat a doubles like that, but I guess the rest of the caption will explain what's going on. But this is what the Caribbean is all about. Under the Sun. Russell's Fort James. Check it out. Let us make a mess. Slide pepper, please. And I see our doubles.
Oh my God, a long time. And again, welcome to Arima. This is what I do, having doubles in Arima.
Thank you.
Couldn't go wrong with having some great doubles from the doubles man right there. What's your name, son?
Jewel, I think I need you to come behind me so you can hold this. And I don't know how to eat a doubles like this. And shame on me. Shame on me. This is not going to work. This is not going to end well. Neal, you have to show me how to do this.
Yeah.
You have to show me how to do this now.
I think you have to hold it like this.
But you worse than me?
Well, this is, yeah, you see, I figured out to eat my own doubles in Trinidad, you know? See, at Moses doubles and Arima, you can't go wrong. This is what we do, we stick to Arima.
Okay, man. This is right. Okay.
Lord, in it hot. So good. So, you know, after all the carnival lime in Trinidad, come to Moses doubles in Arima. My city, Arima. Can't go wrong.
Doubles, though.
Doubles. I mean, Nicole, Arima, Trinidad and Tobago. Doubles? Come on.
Pepper. Without pepper?
Yes, they do.
Whew. All right, I think that's a wrap there first.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's a wrap there first. You still recording?
Yeah, he recorded eating rubble.
I know we're under the sun, but right now we're under the doubles.
Hot sun, under the sun, doubles, and hot pepper. Think about that. And Neal, Arima.
And the red soda to come.
Nicole under the sun.
Oh boy, that's a wrap. This is interesting, huh? You have coconut water in Brooklyn?
Huh? No, I'm good.
Because she has it
yes.
exposed.
And she know better than that, of all people.
So, Neal, you go first.
I'm Billy, right? So, after having some hot doubles under the sun with Nicole, the next step is a nice coconut water at Billy in Arima, my hometown. Nicole.
Except, no, you go first.
No, go ahead, babe. Come on, I'll serve you today. See, that's how we Trinidadians do. We ain't selfish, we share coconut water.
My chance is you on TV or?
My turn now, you see? One love.
Sorry.
We're in Arima, so.
Arima.
Yeah.
Coconut water.
Nice. I drank cola. You realize I drank most of this, huh?
Yes,
And I probably have my lipstick all over your lips.
God, lipstick, but coconut water.
Billy, that's good.
Yeah.
Where you get your coconuts?
Yeah.
This is how we wrap up this edition of Under the Sun with Nicola. Thank you so much, Russell's at Fort James, Danielle, the entire crew, the Rum Punch. It was absolutely divine. Neal Farinah, what can I say? Again, you are an absolutely marvelous human being. Thank you for allowing us into your space, for sharing your story. And what I like about Neal is the fact that he's humble. He's not one that boasts, oh, I'm Trinbagonian and look me, I'm a celebrity stylist for the likes of Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and Mary J. Blige. He's just plying his trade and plying his trade well. But he's flying the flag and representing not just for Trinbagonians, but Caribbean people and, of course, our friends in Arima. So thank you so much for joining us today. Next time, we'll have so much more to share with you. Under the Sun with Nicola.